Holy fucking shit. I'm so excited for today's episode. On the BANGover podcast, we are doing... Is it Chris? What is it?
Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle. That's all you have to say. Self-titled album. Timeless classic.
Yeah.
Forever held
Definitely.
in my heart as one of my favorite albums. Something I like to put on for people that I want to maybe leave the room, you know, like if I'm trying to clear a place out or something. This is a great album to do that, you know. Only the cool people are going to stick around for this after party. Where to even get started? I'm Scott Allen. Chris Myers, right over here.
Howdy do.
Right over here, running all the tech.
Doing octopus arms over here.
Yeah, no shit. And I'm just trying to like stay cool and relax, you know?
Yeah.
Squeeze me macaroni. Slap your face with my baloney. I wish we still played songs from this album. I wish I just had like one headphone, just had the music going the whole time so I could just reference it. Mr. Bungle from Eureka, California.
Eureka.
Led by the infamous frontman, maybe not. I would say deranged serial killer mindset lead singer known as Mike Patton. As you know, that's also in Faith No More, probably the bigger name band that he's in. But I think at this point, it's just his namesake alone. You know who he is, you know what you're getting into. If you're a music fan, you know who Mike Patton is because of just so many different projects, right?
Yeah.
But this is actually his first band. This is his band that he started when he was in, I guess, I think he was in high school. In Eureka High School, he started this band. And then it wasn't until like college is when he met Faith No More. And then there's like the story behind that and everything. But first off, let's get into like the first time we've ever experienced
I don't even
this.
remember.
It's always been with you? Is that what you're saying? It's just always been there?
It's just one of those things. I don't know if you can remember when.
Ryan or you?
It was probably something like, but it's one of those like I don't know. Maybe it just like looks cool, you know, the album and the CD shelf, and then you also hear like, hey, this guy.
Maybe was it because
honestly, don't even know.
We know we knew who Faith No More was because of just radio play. You know what I mean? And like how they always get covered and what they talk about when it comes to like the behind the music on that. I think I watched that the Faith No More behind the music. Yeah. That you fall in love with Mike Patton, and if you go down any little hole, the first place you're gonna, the first stop down the tour of the Patton head is Mr. Bungle, like the end all be all. I want to say it was you that got me into it. I don't know,
but I just don't know how it even started. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Exactly.
It's just one of those things where you're just like, just rabbit hole of like of music discovery at that time, and then it just comes across. Yeah,
because let's go back a little bit. We were about, I want to say I was like, probably like 22 or something. Everyone else is probably like 18, 19. And we, had my own house, and we were like just practicing like almost every day. And we were just getting into crazy types of music, like more. And it wasn't just metal anymore, you know? It was like going on just a search for whatever's weird, you know, like. It's where we found like Melt Banana and stuff like that. It's where I fell in love with like Cannibal Corpse because of just how like crazy they are, you know? It's the first time I heard Gojira. And I think like this was just something that was a perfect storm of like all that because it's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. The only thing I can put this up against would be David Zorn or John Zorn's Naked Lunch. And, just because that's a crazy jazz-infused album. And I know I'm kind of spoiler alert, he was the producer on this album. So it kind of makes sense. Like, John Zorn being one of these crazy jazz like musicians that's like, if you're a music nerd, you know who he is, you know?
Yeah.
And Naked Lunch is like a really like top 100 greatest albums of all time by far, if not like even closer, like in the top 50s or something like that. I'm so sorry if you can hear the helicopter outside.
There's a helicopter.
Yeah. Sounds like a military. It's like it's just hovering above us. Holy shit. Okay. We need to wrap it up because we gotta go. Fucking copying right infringement laws. But back to my point. It's just this is everything. This is everything from jazz, avant-garde.
Yeah, I mean, you
to
look at the
polka,
genre; it's like all
to
over
metal,
the place. Yeah,
to hardcore. I don't even
Ska.
know. You know,
jazz fusion. Yeah, it's all over the place. People, the critical reception kind of speaks to that, where people were, it was kind of all over the place with people like receiving.
You love it or hate it,
because it's like, I mean, widely as far as like mass media was like, what is this? It's like you're saying, it's just a blend of this, literally this genre hopping to this genre, sometimes like that, and then out of nowhere, and then sometimes even in the same song there'll be different genres. So it's like
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and those changes come out of nowhere. So it's very sort of, I could see it being very divisive in that way. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
yeah,
people either like it or you're going to be really turned off by it.
And a lot of people always ask, when they're doing an interview with Mike Patton, they're where was your head at when you were recording this Mr. Bungle, or what were you listening to more so than what you were inspired by? Because obviously he's inspired by everything, music wise. But he said when he was younger, when he first started the band, he started working at a record store. He got a little bit of privilege at the record store where he was allowed to pretty much order any records that he wanted. So he just picked out all this weird shit from like dub to jazz to hardcore to like extreme metal. And then that's kind of where his taste has always been. It's all over the place.
And I think it comes out but I think that's also where like, there's some people that are like really stuck in their like ways, maybe. So like they can't
for good or for bad.
So like, I think if you're just a fan in music in general, I think Mr. Bungle can touch something that'll like grab you
and pull you in.
And like, they're the one band that I play for people that are like to kind of impress somebody, where it's like, I don't know much about music. Well, let me show you this band. Yeah, they're kind of like doing everything.
Especially when you talk to like a music nerd like ourselves. Yeah. And if they don't know,
exactly, you want to show them.
That good of a nerd,
yeah. Well, you also want to show them because it could like, really, it is like one of those bands that is like, it's just not. They do deserve to be heard, but it's one of those things. I think they're very underappreciated or undervalued in music. Yeah, you know what I mean. Again, a lot of people like
a cult classic.
Exactly, a lot of hardcore people know about them and like are like, dude, this is famous people. Mike Portnoy, Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold, Korn, James Monkey. They, praise this. They all use these.
Of course, musicians love this album. If you're a musician, you love Mr. Bungle. Yeah. And if you haven't heard it, I can't wait to play it for you because you're going to fall in love, because it's everything about being a musician for sure. You nailed it on the head with that one. Yeah.
Because it covers every, I mean, you can just find one song to show somebody that'll turn them on to it. Because, the whole album, we get to the album, the whole album is themed kind of in this weird, scary, spooky carnival, dark, evil.
The content.
Yeah, the content, but even the sounds, But then they get wacky too.
It fucking scares the shit out of me every single time. It's like, I wish I could just play that opening so we could just be talking and that fucking bottle drops and it goes, boosh. Yeah. And then you're like, wait. That weird. Because you don't know if it's like, I've checked my CD player multiple times where it's like, what's going on? Is this on play? And then, and you're like, oh my God, turn it down. Yeah. Turn it down. No.
They do that.
Scared the shit out of both of us last night when we were listening to it.
That's sort of a like creepy carnival song. And then you get to like Egg, which is like that polka. Egg.
Egg.
Yeah. So like they like, if you could find one thing, you know. And then I mean, we're watching this live video here, and you can see there's like 8 people on stage having to like do it. You know what I mean? It's one of those projects where it's like, it's kind of, the band's always been a sort of Slipknot-ish band. You got one guy doing like the samples.
Well,
Mike's doing the weird voices and the other stuff. Bass player, guitar player, drummer, keyboard. You know,
and a lot of this stuff did just come natural, like out of the blue.
Percussion player, it looks like.
He joined this band after they were already a band. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's not a trained singer.
Yeah.
Surprise! You know, it's like one of the best, known for being one of the best vocalists of all time.
Yeah.
No training at all. Comes in there and he was just feeling like very overwhelmed because there's a fucking saxophone player. There's just a percussion section.
Yeah.
There's piano, and he was like, I have to like diversify myself with the instruments around me and play with this.
And the wacky sound effects though.
Yeah.
Whoop, the like weird cartoon like sliding whistle stuff and like all that weird.
All that stuff was like thrown in there because a lot of these songs were kind of recorded or were recorded on their first like 4 demos, because there was 4 like cassette tape demos that just kind of got circled around, and that's where like a lot of people like in Anthrax, they would say like the first time they heard them was like someone just, you know, they randomly got like a Mr. Bungle tape and they're like, what is this? You know, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you know, kind of getting the money or whatever, or the ability to do the full length because of Faith No More, and having, you know, them sign his band at the same time.
Yeah.
There's some story that I heard, but there was a lot of stuff that he made up that put out in the past. Like he would make up a lot of like rumors or just rock and roll stories about himself and just throw it out there like back in the day. So there was a lot of like, again, like rock and roll legends where like when I started doing the research for this episode, I was like, oh, some of that shit when I heard when I was a kid about Mike Patton, wrong. You know what I mean? Like the what you were getting to, it's like Slipknot, right?
Yeah.
Back to my point, or your point actually, them wearing masks.
Yes.
Or costumes.
That was how the original. I mean? Yeah.
And he said it was pretty much, they only did that because they were like 19 and they were just kind of scared and intimidated to be up on stage. So in doing so, they wear these costumes and it kind of just like a little bit of camouflage. You just kind of blend into the rest of the music and you're able to express yourself a lot more. And the story I heard was that when he got signed to Faith No More and getting Mr. Bungle signed with Mike Patton to do Faith No More, in agreement that he couldn't show his face in any other band, so he had to wear a mask in Mr. Bungle. Totally not real.
Yeah.
That's totally just maybe he made it
rock
up.
And roll.
Some asshole just told me that in a bar. Some dead wrong shit. Sometimes, especially when it comes to Mike Patton, and just like he doesn't like to do interviews, especially back then, and he would admit that he was kind of an asshole, you know, and just especially in interviews, just how he would talk.
Yeah.
He just would, you know, not answer the question at all, totally go around it, just do something wacky, say something dumb, walk off the stage, you know, every fucking time. Fucking Mike Patton, though. It's kind of like made the legend, and I feel like we could just do a whole episode on Mike Patton because there's enough there to unpack, you know?
Yeah. But, well, starting with this album, which is the beginning of this band, which, you know, he had Faith No More. This is like one, you know, during the promotion of this album, it's promoted as Mike Patton's other weird experimental band. It's like, okay. So he's kind of has this established.
The Mike Patton circus.
Yeah. He has this like weird image kind of already percolating in like music, where it's like he's this avant-garde musician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's getting marketed that way through.
And that third or whatever
Warner Brothers
Faith No More, someone said it was the third album. I didn't go back to double check.
California.
No, the Faith No More album.
Oh, sorry, we were talking about this.
The Real Thing. Insane, blew people away, you know? I mean, nowadays it might be a little outdated because of how he's singing on it. You know, it's a very 90s rock and roll sound. I still fucking love it. Mike Patton, I don't think he likes it too much, but it's just, he was trying on new shit. He's not as he is a genius, but not in the musical sense that you think he is. He's more of a mechanical type of musician. He can't read music. He doesn't.
I think he can.
He can't read music. He
really?
literally said that. Oh. Yeah. He still can't read music to this day. Isn't that crazy? The things that he does is because he imagines himself doing them, and he does it.
I think he has, I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's a Guinness World Record. I think he has one of the widest vocal ranges.
I always heard that too.
You can go on YouTube and look it up, and it is, I think it is like the widest range.
Yeah.
You can
from low to high, like him. Yeah. I mean, especially in this, like, again, I wish we could just play some of their songs.
Because he can really sing, you know what I mean, in those other groups that he does. Yeah, he can hit some really low type, old, sort of like Sinatra type, where it's like that old style music he does, even in like the California album. You know what I mean, where it touches on that, where it's like this weird.
He was a really big fan of like Frank Sinatra because he talks about him a little bit, and it's just like how he makes it look like so easy, but at the same time, like Sinatra was like such a genius because everyone always talks about like, oh, Sinatra, he's a mafia or whatever. But what about the music? You know what I mean? Like he actually was good, even though if it's just what is it called? Not cocktailing. The type of style that is.
The music, I don't. It's
chord. Someone might be screaming at their phone right now. Leave it in the comments. Cantina
music. Cantina style?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Oh, it'll come to me. It's like on the tip of my fucking tongue. But fucking Mike Patton uses that a lot in Mr. Bungle, especially this album and like an album like California. You know what I mean? Which is by far like everyone's favorite album.
The thing is their biggest commercial success, and they've only had 3 albums, so I guess,
Yeah. I think we're kind of due for a 4th album because
I think we're going to get
everything works in 4s when it comes to Mike Patton. He's like, I'll do 4 and then
we're going to get the original demo that's been re-recorded with the new iteration of Mr. Bungle, which is a little more stripped down and like kind of raw. It's Dave Lombardo, Scotty, and I think Trevor Dunn's still there. I'll have to look.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, and then I think they have like one more person probably doing those key stuff. But you know what I mean? It's like pretty slimmed down, I think, with the newest iteration.
Because they're kind of like turning it more towards thrash metal. I mean, that's kind of what they said in all the things I was reading, where it's like they're pulling Mr. Bungle into a thrash metal direction. And it makes sense because you have 2 thrash metal gods.
Yeah.
at your side, you know what I mean? Like
it is just those
the king of riffs, king of the crunch. What is
Scott Ian? Scott Ian's got the riffs. Dave Lombardo's got the speed.
I think
and
it's the sound. Yeah, I think Scott Ian has the guitar sound that everyone looks for.
Good, yeah, it's this crazy shit. Putting a cymbal upside down on a tom
just to rub it.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of microphones he has to have, he has keyboard synthesizers, and he's like, I have no music training at all. Let that inspire you, kids.
We have the Bizarre Festival from August 19th of 2000, 20 years ago, pretty much.
Almost 2000.
Almost 20 years ago.
He's well seasoned at this point, for sure.
So it's pretty dope. I suggest going and looking online and seeing those old shows, like you're saying, with the masks. 'Cause those are some of the most like violent shows I've seen.
Insane
like
shows.
The band, you know what I mean? Trevor Dunn's flinging his bass everywhere. Mike Patton's like doing some Exorcist like body contortion type shit. It's pretty insane.
Again, I used to hear like crazy stories because when someone told me that dog shit story about the mask, he was like, someone grabbed it off the stage before they went on. And he came out looking for the mask, and he was screaming at the crowd, and like jumped in the crowd and got in a fight with some dude. But again, that's never popped up in anything I've ever heard. And I've done the research on Mike Patton a long time ago because I was fascinated with everything he's ever done. So I was just pretty much brushing up on for this episode, for sure. But yeah, it's crazy stories like that. But we did hear the story. Were you at the Buzz Osborne acoustic thing? Storyteller.
I was at one of them.
Did he tell the story about the Mike Patton?
Is it Red 7 across from Empire? Oh, yeah, I was there. I don't remember what.
Someone retold me the story that back in the day in Houston, the Melvins opened up for Mr. Bungle, and when the Melvins were playing in the beginning of like their first 3 songs or whatever, someone threw a beer bottle at Buzz and smashed over his head, and he just was bleeding everywhere. So they had to like end their set early, and they like got off the stage and everything, and fucking Mike Patton was fucking pissed, like insanely pissed off. So he goes and he tears up all the band's set list and then rewrites them to just say, these motherfuckers are going to pay. That's it. And then they go out on stage and play a show for an hour of all white noise and sounds and bullshit. And then at the end, this is what I heard, he pulls down his pants and takes a shit on stage and leaves. And the crowd fucking opposite. Yeah. Hated it. Police had to come in and escort them out because everyone in Houston was rioting, and people in Houston are fucking nuts. A bunch of insane asylums back in the 70s got shut down because of government funding, and they just let all those crazy people out into the streets.
And they went to a Mr. Bungle show.
There's 50,000 crazy people that just integrated into Houston, and that's why that town's nuts. I'm sorry if you live there. The sky's always green. It's weird. It's like it lives next to a nuclear power plant. But so now every time, I think it wasn't even Mr. Bungle. It was like Fantamos came through on their tour to Houston. They did the same thing, just an hour of white noise, and then said "fuck you" to Houston and left. And yeah, again, another quote unquote riot happened. But just holding a grudge like that, you know. I heard that same thing from Marilyn Manson here in Austin back in like '96. Someone threw a bottle. I think it busted. Who knows? But dude, that's a dickhead fucking thing to do. Yeah. For a band that's performing for you, you don't need to be
that's
there.
That's an $8 bottle of beer you're throwing.
Yeah, and you don't like it, you can leave.
Yeah.
God damn. And he didn't come back here for like fucking 15 years or some shit like that. Not till like 2008 or what have you. But constant Mike Patton stories. Yeah, that's from the mouth of Buzzo King, dude. So has to be true. And that's a crazy story. Yeah. And he did it again, you know? And he refuses to he has that type of attitude. You know, we did Faith No More, right?
I don't think we did Faith No More.
We did Faith No More, Angel Dust.
What? No, we didn't. I don't think so.
The blue album with the swan?
No, I don't think we did that one.
You sure?
I don't know.
It was a year ago. It was literally a year ago. Because we've been doing this for a year. Please follow us on Instagram. Subscribe. Click the bell.
Track of what we've done.
BANGover Productions. Yeah, because I was going to start off by saying this. Like, oh my God, this is the first time we ever even got to talk about Mike Patton the entire episode. And I was like, wait, I think we did Faith No More, Angel Dust. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure because we had this conversation. Because I wanted to, fun facts. It's not even a fun fact, but the Anthony Kiedis argument.
I was going to say, that's
and the Red Hot
another,
Chili Peppers. And I remember us talking about it on this podcast.
I think
that's why I was like, we brought it up in a fun facts
I can
part.
look right here. There's Faith No More on our channel.
Oh, look at this. If you go to YouTube, we haven't done it?
No.
Did I just do research and talk to someone else about this without a microphone in front of me?
Probably.
Were we planning on doing the episode and never did it?
I don't know. I think it may have came up. I do know what you're talking about, but I don't remember us actually doing it. So, but the Anthony Kiedis clash kind of does coincide with them putting out Californication, and then being dropped from all these big festivals because of Anthony Kiedis, and then them.
There's a lot of Palooza that got kicked off the fucking
That's
tour.
A lot of.
I don't even know why.
And overseas, they said a bunch of European festivals.
Oh, yeah.
So like, that's a lot of press and audience you're not getting into, and this is your biggest album at the point. You know what I mean? They kind of just got fucked over pretty badly as far as like,
dude,
reception wise.
Really fucking bad because think about like the amount of money that it's gonna cost them as a band. You know what I mean? Because the studio and whatever put all this money into merchandise and the album to sell at these shows, as well as taking in the revenue of playing said shows and fulfilling the contract. You probably didn't even get paid. And it fucks up them because now they're just sitting on their asses with nothing to schedule because it's too late now. You know what I mean? And for what? Because, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers has a fucking jalapeno up their ass. A chili pepper over the butt. That's a dumb joke. You got a pepper
Anthony Kiedis thinks Mike Patton stealing his vocal style. And it's like, come on, you wish that was the claim, is Anthony Kiedis is butthurt about
I never
that,
heard his side of the story.
But I mean, who knows what it is? You know, this is all just like hearsay type of.
Well, if you go to YouTube, where you can find BANGover Productions as well as more episodes like this, you can find a video of Mr. Bungle or Faith No More playing like.
Oh, not his vocal style. Anthony Kiedis accused Patton of stealing his style in the video for the hit song "Epic" off Real Thing.
Oh, because he's shirtless and his hair is going around and they have the same haircut in that time?
He made a controversial comment to Kerrang about kidnapping Mike Patton and cutting off his feet just so he'll be forced to find a style of his own.
Oh, big talk, little man. Well, Mike Patton came back swinging on that one. Because they would say they would cover
now?
Chili
Mike
Pepper
Patton,
songs.
Is fucking all over the place. Very well respected.
And
musician.
Everyone hates the Chili Peppers nowadays.
Chili Peppers just like
they got such a high status to where now it's a hate status where everyone loves them, and then next week or 10 years later everyone hates them. Just like Nickelback. They sell all those albums. If they suck that bad, why are they selling millions of albums? Tell me that. It's fine. They're fueling metal. Maybe if you didn't know, Nickelback is on Roadrunner Records. Yeah. So all the money they make is to make awesome metal. So why don't you go fucking buy a Nickelback CD? Support your metal.
Well, let's get into this album a little bit before we get into our
lyric breakdown.
New lyric breakdown. August 13th, 1991. So 29 years, right?
Next year it'll be 30.
Yep.
Should have held off.
It was recorded at Different Fur in San Francisco, California. Don't have much on that, but
not a lot to go from.
The album is about 73 minutes. Producers
fucking long.
John Zom, who Zorn. Sorry, the text here is very small on my computer. Yeah, so he's worked with multiple acts. He's identifies as avant-garde or experimental. Let's see, associated acts here: Violent Femmes, Masada String Trio, Painkiller, Moonchild. So he's got a lot of like jazz and film stuff. Did some hardcore. Painkiller and stuff like that. So
go check out his album Naked Lunch. Fucking awesome. Type in John Zorn, Naked Lunch. Zorn is Zorn.
And so yeah, the album, it's got this crazy artwork. It's like I always wondered what it was when I first saw it, because it kind of like was abstractish a little bit.
But it's also like very well like painted.
Yeah. Like I was like, what the hell is he holding? It's a match. Oh. But yeah, it's got, the whole album has this like weird art, and there's so many art people that were involved, with the album, more than your typical album that we've run into. You know what I mean? Half the production. Well, it
is a Bungle album, so
half the album is just the art, or half the production notes. I mean, starting with Anthony Lee, who did the album sleeve design, Lisa Wells band logo typeset. So somebody did the logo, specifically just the typing for the Mr. Bungle there. The cover and the interior art was done by Dan Sweetman and Jay Marshall. The inside double panel art was P. Earwig, David Shea. Now we're getting into other notes. But yeah, so you have a pretty big list of people who did the art for the album. Which is like,
I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, there's other people here, but
it did say where this came from, though, like the
inspiration
itself, or the inspiration.
Oh yeah, so the cover featured the Dan Sweetman. He published a story, Cotton Candy Autopsy, with DC. So he's kind of got like that cred, writing for comics or doing art for comics. But I can't see anything else about the art for it. Do you know anything else about it?
Oh, I mean, I thought it said something there at the top of like it was from a painting or from a book or some shit, but it's taken, from an old premise. Doesn't say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was originally published in the story, A Cotton Candy Autopsy.
That's
from DC Comics. Yeah. The imprint title was Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children.
You know what? DC has some of the darkest shit, to be honest.
I was going to say, that's the book's cover right there, which is pretty creepy. Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children. It's a good title.
It fits with the whole Mr. Bungle thing.
The first issue is Cotton Candy Autopsy. So, yeah, it does. The whole creepy clown, weird carnival aesthetic.
And maybe you didn't know, but Mr. Bungle was kind of taken from Pee Wee Herman in an episode that he did on hygiene, but it's from an old 1950s ad called Mr. Bungle about hygiene. Huh. And I wanted to find it to play it for y'all, and I think it's somewhere in this album, but again, 71 minutes to scan through, and Spotify don't make that shit fucking easy over here. Should have just popped in the album, did it fucking manually, and fucking get the metal fingers up, record, play, same time, go. But yeah, that's like kind of where the name comes from. The whole Pee Wee, Big Top, Playhouse, whatever, it's kind of like weird and still kind of like adult in some ways. I mean, Rob Zombie worked on the goddamn set, all right? Did a lot of like just back work. Just look at the helmet that he puts on at the end of every episode with the eyeball and the wings. Come on. That's a white zombie prop. All right. And then you have fucking, what's his face? The cowboy, the male cowboy. I was trying to think of the actor. Morpheus.
Who? Morpheus. Oh, yes.
That was
I know
on,
what you're talking about. Yes.
That just became a well-known actor after Pee Wee's Big Adventure or Playhouse. I always like go back and somehow it's always like referenced in like pieces of like our society or culture here in America, like Pee Wee. Just all that for whatever reason. Maybe we grew up with it, and it was kind of like it was on HBO, I believe. So another thing, HBO, like, it's not television. They always kind of had shit like that. HBO, anyways. But now I'm distracted by
this crazy
this live
shit,
performance.
Yeah. So the album has all their names kind of crazy too, like some weird ministry shit. You know what I mean? Some pseudonyms,
names,
yeah.
AKAs.
Vlad Drak is our main man. Mike Patton. You got Heifetz, who is Danny Heifetz. He's the drummer and production. Mike is keyboard and other production as well. You got Scummy, who's the guitar player. Preston Lee Trey Sprunitz III is his real name. But so he's the co-founder of the band also. Guitar, keyboard production. Everybody does keyboard pretty much, it looks like. Trevor Dunn, who all over the place has done, Melvin stuff. The Mr. Bungle constantly works with Mike on stuff like that.
He's the guy with the orange bass. right? He always plays with like an orange bass.
I'm not sure.
I think he's in Tomahawk as
we
well.
got that in here.
I think he's in Tomahawk as well.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure on that one.
Oh.
I'm gonna say yes, and then I'll come back next week and tell you if I was wrong.
Yeah.
Look at it. Or after the lyric breakdown.
Clinton Barr McKinnon, who's just known as Barr. It's like got this weird, like bear maybe. I don't know.
Just a bunch of college
yeah,
kids.
he's tenor saxophone and production, and then you got Theo, also known as Theobald Brooks, Theo Langell, who's alto sax, baritone sax, and then production. So everyone has production credit, and then
I mean, yeah, dude, it's like a jazz ensemble.
yeah. You got David Bryson, engineering mixing, Matt Merman, engineering assistant, digital editing, John Zorn, production, also did alto sax on Love is a Fist, Bob Ludwig, our favorite guy, Bob Ludwig, who's we've talked about pretty much
Of course, he's here.
Mastering
This is a classic
again.
album.
He's mastered it.
It had to be someone that was legendary. I thought John Zorn was enough, but no.
And then you got Troy Blakely, their manager, Stan Diamond, the legal rep, Kristen Yee is actually the band management. Troy Blakely
this was
just
updated
management.
6 days ago, their
What was
Wikipedia page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, weird.
You got a few people, extra credits. David Shea, who's turntables, Jesus Christ. That's funny. I wonder
That's
if
a
that was
good
just
one.
added.
DJ Jesus Christ.
Backing vocals,
Oh,
Maximum Bob, which is really crazy that I didn't even know that. Maximum Bob does backing vocals, who also is in the Deli Creeps, which is Buckethead's band.
Of course,
That
this was
just
all connected.
connects back to Buckethead.
Why wouldn't this all be connected? I'm surprised at this point that Mike Patton and Les Claypool has not done something together.
I'm sure
they probably
there-
just don't have
I'm-
enough time.
I'm sure
They're
there's
too
something
busy.
out there.
They're too busy.
Yeah. So yeah, you learn something every day.
Go
I didn't
check
know,
out Corpse Flower.
I didn't know Maximum Bob. That's cool.
Mike Patton's latest album.
Yeah.
As well as be on the lookout for the new Mr. Bungle thrash version.
Yes, that's gonna be.
What is it? The Wrath of the Bunny?
Let me see. It's gonna be that demo that's reworked, and it is the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo.
And if you want, you can go on YouTube and just type in Mr. Bungle demos, and you'll find it. I found it way back in the day. You can listen to the old one, listen to the new one on Spotify, Apple, whatever the fuck. Follow Mr. Bungle there, and you could stay up to date when it comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know if they have an Instagram or anything like that. And if they do, they probably don't use it very much.
Well, Mike has, I think, his weird official one. It's not official. It doesn't have the blue check, but weird.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
You want to get into some lyric breakdown?
All right, so I thought it'd be hilarious.
Hilarious.
If we had my lovely lady, Bria Bill, read some lyrics for you. She's a super fucking nerd when it comes to listen to the lyrics of this song. She always says that. Listen to the lyrics. I was like, but the song sucks, but the lyrics are good. Like, who the fuck cares about the lyrics? And she went to school for writing and all that stupid shit, so she knows a thing or two about just like flow and like good wording. I don't even know how to describe what it is for good writers or a bad writer, what it is. But we're gonna cut to a segment where she's just gonna read some lyrics from some of my favorite songs. I just gave her the most fucked up things to read, dude. The most fucked up. And just trying to catch your reactions out of it. All right, let's go.
Be right back.
So this is Travolta, aka quote unquote.
Yeah,
All
I'm gonna play
behold
fucking-
the spectacle, a fleshy, limbless rectangle, sitting on a pedestal, so nasal, handy capable. That's fun. That's fun with words. Sniff and remember silver ball, contortions that he can't recall, the torso on a trampoline, the happiness melts into a dream. This sounds like an interesting fucked up fever dream. To talk is an enunciated sneeze. To taste is some foul air to breathe. And then we have an ellipses. Is the word that you heard? Is it bird? Is it bird is the word? I don't think it is. One thought, it lasts a day, and at that rate, he'll most likely live forever. He's a bird in flight, a hermaphrodite, and he fucks himself as he fucks the world. His twitching brain can dance within, gyrating more like gelatin. A secret means of ecstasy, acute and very olfactory. To see is colors crawling in the nose. To hear is stinking highs and lows. This is fun. This is like if it's like if Robert Smith had like a bad day. He's got an itch, but nothing with which to scratch the itch, so wish it away. With his mouth sewn shut, he still shakes his butt. All right, let's get silly. 'Cause he's Hitler and Swayze and Trump and Travolta. That is a fun time. Smell, sweat, movement, everyone's dancing, disco, dimple, fading darker, a subtle fragrance, faint. Everyone's dancing without him. Where did it go? Dark, odorless, nothing. All right. That's that song.
What do you think that song was about?
Pulp Fiction?
No, it's about Grease.
Oh, well, I
The
was
lyrics at the end.
No, but, well, disco is not Grease, though.
It's disco songs, baby.
No, it's not. Grease is...
I don't know. All right, next song.
Well, okay. No, because I'm thinking disco, John Travolta, when he's doing the little dancey dance with Uma Thurman. Anyway. Okay, next song. Let's see. All right. This is Squeeze Me Macaroni. This already sounds like a fun time for the kids. Maybe some lunchtime. I want to lock Betty Crocker in the kitchen and knock her upper during supper. I'm gonna hate this. Clutter up her butter gutter. Said a hostess ding-dong wrapped an egg roll around my wong, while Dolly Madison proceeded to ping my pong. Yeah, this is really fun. Like, all of these lyrics are really just like a giant word salad of fuck. That's what this is. Your Milky Way is M&M in your britches, and I'll tell you, Baby Ruth, it looks mighty delicious. Keep blowing my gum, 'cause here I come. I'm gonna get you all sticky with the bubble yum. Knick-knack, paddywhack, and give your dog a bone, baby. Knick-knack, paddywhack, and give your dog a bone, baby. Okay. I was given some head to some French bread, was a 4-course orgy on the spread of my bed. French kissin', French fries, in my Fruit of the Looms. I get deeper penetration with a fork and a spoon. This reminds me of that specific fetish, and I'm trying to recall the name of it, but it is where you like fucking in food. I actually knew somebody who was born that way because her parents fucked in a bathtub full of spaghetti. Fucking gross. I got yogurt meatloaf smeared all over my ass, stick my weenie in 2 buns, and then give it the gas. Sour cream from a spleen into Levi jeans. I'm gonna bust the seams with the refried beans. Ronald McDonald, so fucking dumb. It's clever. It is a fun little romp through food orgies. Ronald McDonald just loves to be fondled with Big Mac. He'll fuck it like a chicken McNugget. Colonel Sanders wants to goose Granny's loose caboose. Gonna give her a boost with that Kentucky Fried Juice. All right. Oh, this is fun. Super dupe poop scoop loop de loop chicken coop. Shoot some hoop top sirloin from the groin topped with dick cheese sneeze wheeze from the skis disease. Woo. This sounds like a rap song. Okay, then it's your knick-knack paddywhack shit again. And take a dump, baby, squirt some gravy, pour some sugar on me, honey, make it brown and runny. Give a little Flavor Flav back from the grave. Gonna burn some toast. Pump some humpin' rump roast. By the way, I've never actually listened to any of these songs, so I'm just reading these words. Knick-knack, paddywhack, jump in the sack, in fact, jerk the smack and crack Jack from the back. Bananarama or Rama Banana, fucking Barry Manilow on the Copacabana. That's probably my favorite line in that entire thing. Squeeze me, macaroni, slap your face with my bologna, and that says that 4 times. You gotta sip on the spinach, you gotta cream the corn, sperm scrambles the eggs, and a meal is born. Cooking like a beginner, but I'm going up in her. I had Fritos for lunch, I'm having Bush for dinner. Chef Boyardee and the Three Musketeers shoved Charleston shoes in their rears like queers. Holy moly guacamole, said my Chips Ahoy. Gonna pinch ravioli in the Pillsbury Doughboy. It's your knick-knack paddywhack shit again, and then it is we came to potty down your throat. All right. It reminds me, well, I can't say it reminds because this has actually happened, but if a 2-year-old was a genius and could write and knew how to swear, that's some weird ass food shit. Okay. After that nice romp, the next one is Stub a Dub. Do you remember we called you puppy? Now you're one of us. We call you family. And he says family 4 times. Treading underfoot and stinking ass, hold the door aside and let her pass. See, I thought it was going to be nice. I thought it was going to be like a puppy and it was going to be a nice little fucking, I don't know, nursery rhyme or some shit in the very beginning. But now it's downhill. Glaucoma, it's just a line. Reflections of a bloated lie, a life stored in your cloudy eye. Now it's time to say goodbye. Stub a dub will never die. Is this about a dying dog? Am I reading about a dying dog? God fucking damn it. I'm so upset right now. I don't want this. This is not what I asked for.
It's about the guitar player's dog getting cancer and dying.
Oh, wow. Thank you for warning me at all.
No, I wanted
Oh, yeah, you wanted this?
Yeah.
What if I just start crying?
Good, we got it.
Hey, fuck yourself. I also
capture that, put it out there forever.
God. No, now I want you to imagine your dog dying.
I accepted it.
Okay, well, he's old. Anyway. Chase a tail that isn't there. It's time to wipe your butt sliding down butt hill. Okay. Dog Rastafari? Okay. Do you know that you're fucking a dog? You're a fucking dog. And if you can hear me, then throw up, give me a sign. And I'll throw a stick, bring it back, roll over and die. You taught me a lesson. Thanks, Mom. Okay. Do you letter to mom in there? Do you understand me? Do you think about when you're peeing? Do you think you're gonna grow into a human being? This dog has seen better days. You're gonna die. How does it feel, Stub? Oh my God. Eat and sleep, fulfill your only role. Let your problems seep out of your cataract. Okay. Reflections of a bloated lie, a life stored in your cloudy eye. Now it's time to say goodbye. Chase a tail that isn't there. It's time to wipe your butt sliding down. Okay. And then there's that word dog Rastafari. I don't know how to say this. Rastafari.
It's a made up word.
Cool. I'm not illiterate. Okay. Do you know that you're a fucking dog? Okay, it's that whole thing again. And throwing back the stick, roll over and die. Taught me a lesson. Thanks, Mom. You understand me. All of that shit again. This dog has seen better days. You're gonna die. How does it feel, Stub? Do you remember we called you family? Now you're underground. We call you memory. And then it's memory 4 times and then gone 4 times. That's really sad. Even though it's fucking dumb.
He wrote a song about his dying dog. That would be there forever. It's sweet.
I mean, it's sweet, but it's also...
The lyrics are pretty fucked up.
It's dumb. Yeah. Clever. Interesting.
All right, next song.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay, so this is My Ass is on Fire. Oh, it sounds like a terrible 4th of July I had once. My ass is on fire. Impotence, boomerang, I'll stab you, I'll stab you. Clumps of hair in the sink, who's hiding things from me? You knew all along, god damn it, but you wouldn't tell me. Well, look at you now. It's not funny, my ass is on fire. Paraplegic, inhuman liar. Carver smile on your face, everything's great, suffocate. Don't you fucking look at me, don't you fucking look at me, don't you fucking look at me. It's beyond my control, I'm coming. It's not funny, my ass is on fire. Paraplegic, inhuman liar. Boo, redundant, and that is 8 times of saying that. Boring, over and over, repeat. That's fucking it for that one. I think this one has my favorite line in it so far, though. The paraplegic, inhuman liar.
So good.
It's good. That's short. What is that about?
No idea.
Okay. His ass being on fire at some point and human hair and things. Okay, all right. Fair. Sometimes people have bad days.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, that's what that's about. That was a bad day. Okay, this is called, the next one is The Girls of Porn. This is gonna be fun. Okay, all you puss-sucking motherfuckers out there. God, can I just take a second? I'm so sorry, Dad. If you listen to this is a lot of swearing.
Go on.
Puss-sucking motherfuckers out there, it's time to win a chance to butt bang your daughter's tight virgin cherry ass to collar number 666. The urge is too much to take. All I can think about is playing with myself. It's time to masturbate. I got my hustle, and I don't need nothing else. Ginger, ginger. My hand gets tired and my dick gets sore, but the girls of porn want more. So I flip through the pages one more time, and I just let the jism fly. This is like a story. All right, I'm into this. Yeah. A quarter for a peep show, a private booth, or talking to a naked whore, triple X video, 976, and I can whack it on the phone. Nobody's home, I'm alone. The devil in Miss Jones, nobody's home, I'm alone. Aja and John Holmes. We got gushing gonads, tingling tushes, hairy balls and hairy bushes, S&M whips and chains, pregnant ladies with menstrual pains. We got hand jobs and nipple tweaks, finger bangs and slapping cheeks. We got rape, necro, and both ways, and lots of hung studs for all you gays. This is definitely my favorite one. We got incest and bestiality too. We got Sade and the sweetest taboo. We got girls who'll eat your pee and poo, and guys who'd love to fuck your shoe. There's she-males, lesbos, and shaved beef, a D-cup mamas with so much cleave, senior citizens who love to watch and sniff those skid marks from your crotch, yeah. Ain't got no woman next to me, I just got this magazine and what's on the TV screen, but that's okay with me. My hand gets tired and my dick gets sore, but the girls of porn want more, so I flip through the pages one more time and I just let the jism fly. Mr. Bungle, yeah. I was trained to fuck you, baby. And he says that 4 times and then another solid yeah. Yep, that's my favorite one.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah.
Now.
So, yeah, overall, it does, all of the lyrics remind me of, obviously, they're very clever. And it's actually very well written. Disgusting and kind of awful. Yeah, it's like if Robert Smith decided to do a lot of drugs and then also get in a weird dark spot and he said, fuck it, I'm not going to be all lovey and deep anymore. I'm just going to be gross. That's what that reminds me of. That's it. That's all I got.
That's a good way of putting it.
All right.
I guarantee if you have not listened to this entire album, and you do sit down and listen to it, it's gonna get stuck in your head. There's some really good melodies, twist hooks, I don't know what you want to call it, riffage, compilations,
melding of styles.
I think it's
I think it's really one of the best albums I think I've heard. It probably is in
I'm glad you
my
said that. I'm not the only one.
top 10 maybe, you know what I mean, where it's just one of those where like every song is interesting. Like I said, it's an album I show people. I think everybody's like playing up top notch. All the sound effects are like, you know, in the right spots. All the like, everything seems to be where it needs to be. It is their first like debut sort of an album. So I get why like it could maybe sound better, you know? I could see like some production touch-ups.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, they probably didn't get the biggest budget on this album. Like, first go around with your first album, you know? They probably give you, like, maybe 80 grand or something. Yeah. Who knows? You know what I mean? And, yeah, your first time, like, they're redoing some of the old songs that they already had, so... ideally, the album, I think the concept is for it to go all over the place because that's how every song is. But you can kind of already feel that because some songs are written back then, some songs are written for this. And I think they probably just wrote the extra songs for this album, keeping in mind the old songs that they were bringing in as well. So just writing off the old songs to kind of like make it fit in some ways. Because all of them are crazy. We want to go through a little bit of the tracks. Let me just rip off this piece of paper.
Well, when you have all these different guys that are like excellent sax players and excellent like Trevor Dunn, excellent bass player.
That's what Mike Patton was saying. He was like, this is insane to be in a band with people this talented. Yeah. Like, I need to step up my game to be talented. And he is known for being one of the best vocalists of all time. Yeah. And in my opinion, everyone here is like one of the best of their instrument. Best guitar player. Yeah. Best drummer. That drummer's nuts. That first drummer. Like, you got to get Dave Lombardo in to replace him. I mean, he's a good fit to like whoever you need, but is that even Dave Lombardo in the background?
I don't know. I think he's wearing a hat.
We're watching a recent 2019 live before 2020.
Quarantine. This is
20.
This happened a month before quarantine. This show.
Oh yeah, because you know, like all the music festivals. Like, let's not get into it. Let's not talk about it.
But look, still, they got 6 people up there: drummer, keyboard, slide DJ in the back,
2 bass drums,
2 guitar players. You know, so it's a stacked lineup.
It looks fucking absolutely nuts. But to break down some of the track listing, first out, right off the gate, like we said,
that was a great breakdown of those lyrics, by the way.
Oh, of course. But it's just great having her read those things that are just like, please go and just type in Mr.
Craziest lyrics. Like, yeah, dude, my ass is on fire, squeeze me macaroni. They're all the weirdest, craziest, funkiest
Slap
lyrics.
Me face with bologna.
Yeah, they're the weirdest lyrics, but they're fun. I think that's the point too of the band, is it's really fun. They're a fun band, even though they are like kind of dark and evil. They have like these moods and stuff, but I think in
nothing
the end,
sounds
it's like,
that serious. Exactly, to be honest. Yeah. Even though like some of the songs might have a little bit of serious background to it. First off, starting off, like I said, fucking turn down your fucking headphones before you play that first song, because it's gonna fucking jolt you when it first comes in, because it gives you a good like 20 seconds before.
That wasn't Dave. It was like a fan or something.
The old drummer,
or maybe you're right. The old drummer, you're right.
He's like, I can't do this anymore. My fucking arms hurt. I didn't take care of myself back then. I played too crazy when I was younger. And then, quote unquote is the title of the first song. But it's renamed for whatever reason, because it was originally called Travolta. And I think some of the lyrical content.
He does say Travolta, and then he also does the whole grease is the word.
Yes. There's like, they literally do like.
Grease is the word. Is
the
word that you
yes, exactly. Thank you.
It's the time, it's the place, it's emotion.
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
And then, Jesus Christ, I love that song so much. And you're just like, okay, this is a great start. And then, slowly growing death. It's like, okay, again, straight, just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And there was like I just like how he says the word conversation. Like, conversation. It's just like he breaks it down so fucking weird. Because when I'm like, I was listening to it, reading the lyrics at the same time, I was like, holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
And and then into one of my favorite songs for sure, "Squeeze Me Macaroni." Like, it just immediately flies off the handle with lyrics, with the slap bass, the funkiness. Oh my! And then it just spirals and turns and twists.
Yeah.
I don't even know what some of the instruments that they're using, but I love all of it. I love every piece inside of it. Read the like when Priya was reading those lyrics, it's like, holy fuck, so good. And then song 4, Carousel, which is like here on my Spotify, it's pretty much all California is like in their top 5 besides for Carousel. And I absolutely love that song too, but it's just as good as any other song on this album, you know? And then it just gets weirder. It's like Egg, you know?
Yeah.
Egg. Like what we were talking about, it's like very polka. And then Stub-a-Dub, which I fucking love Stub-a-Dub, but that's actually kind of a sad song because it's about the guitar player's dog dying. Stub is the name of the dog.
Stub-a-Dub.
Yeah. And he's like, now you're in heaven. You know, it's like, come to your master. Like, if you read all the lyrics, you know, they're crazy. And he's just like, you're fucking dead or you're a dog. Ridiculous. I think, I think I wrote down some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you know that you're a fucking dog? And if you can't hear me, then throw up. Give me a sign. And it's just, that's all. Fuck, I meant to like pull it up. But again, just fucking nuts. Bria read them. I just loved going in there and telling her what it was about so she could get sad because I love doing that all the time. Being like, you know why that dog looks that way, right? It's because he's in pain. And she's like, no, stop. No. I was like, he's hurting. And then we get into My Ass is on Fire.
Ass is on Fire.
Which, shout out to Lost in Las Vegas. Those guys, you know, just grew up listening to hip hop and now they like react to metal and stuff. And everyone was like, you gotta do Mr. Bungle. And it was like, My Ass is on Fire. And, you know, in the comments, everyone was like, yeah, do it. And then the other half of the people were like, no, don't listen to this. You're going to fucking hate it. And they did not like it. But again, there was pieces in the song that they were like, oh, I really like, you know, when it comes into the chorus, you know, the bump, 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 you know, it's not funny, my ass is on fire.
Yeah.
That's super catchy, you know what I mean? And just that weird sound on the back end with the guitar.
Yeah.
And it comes like halfway through the song too, and it's like almost over, and you're like, no. And it's 7 minutes long, and you don't even realize that a lot of these songs
are very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're so interesting that they really just keep you moving the whole time. And then
the Girls of Porn.
I fucking
This
love it,
song,
dude.
it's like one of those like you hear the moanings and all that. They take the samples from like porn and stuff. It's very it's on the nose, but it's really great.
Okay, all you pussy sucking motherfuckers out there, it's time to get a chance to win.
Yeah.
It's time to win a chance to bang your sweet daughter's ass. Cherry ass for caller 666.
Yeah.
And it's so good, dude. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like very rock and roll. Yeah, and then it has that breakdown. Yeah,
you know, it's so like porno, you know, vibed. Oh my god, it's
then love is a fist. Yep.
And I fucking love that, but that song just kind of like goes in a weird direction towards the end, and there's a lot of like quiet parts, and it kind of raises back up, and then that's kind of like we get into the last song, which it's just it's the end cap of all this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
the longest song,
and it's the weirdest
the
song.
second longest, but still 10 minutes long.
It's super weird. It's kind of like where like I was listening to it last night, and I was like, holy shit, this might be the one song I'm not familiar with, because inside this long 10-minute song, it feels like different songs. Like it will just play something weird and then kind of quiet down and then bring something else back up. And it's like little tiny gems hidden inside this wall of noise. That's what like Phantomos is for me. Is like it's I don't even know, like when I put it on, I'm like, this is absolutely nuts. Like I can't just cycle through and find one song that I'm like, I love this song. You have to listen to the entire thing, and then inside like the end of a song and the beginning of the next song will be like an entire song.
Yeah.
And that's so weird because you don't know where it starts or ends, And that's kind of like what the Love is a Fist and the very last song, which is
Dead Goon.
kind of feel like very much together. It's hard to tell when one ends and the other begins.
Yeah.
But maybe because at that point my fucking brain is scrambled by like processing everything I just heard and the going of the ins and outs. I'm so sorry, I could be better at reciting Mike Patton lyrics, but I'm so excited right now and I'm just like jumbling. I'm like, I want to like, because he's one of my favorite singers. Even me being a drummer, he's one of my favorite musicians of all time. And I constantly like use him as like my influence or my model to help me try to become a better singer, Like I wish I could just recite some of these lyrics or like sing some of these songs because I just love doing so with Tomahawk, Faith No More, even Peeping Tom, I love practice my vocals, if you will, on his stuff all the time. And he will push me in different places. And the same thing like for the Dillinger Escape Plan, which, fun fact, since we're getting to the end, anyways, a little fun fact, Mike Patton did like a 4-song kind of EP for Dillinger Escape Plan back in the day before the singer George showed up, because they lost their first singer and didn't want to just sit there and not put out anything for like a 2-year period. So he joined in, did 4 songs. You can find that on Spotify on Dillinger Escape's albums. It's their second album. It's 4 songs. I can't remember the title right now, but they do a cover of the Apex Twins, Come to Daddy.
Yeah. I've heard that one. Yeah, that's really good.
And what a perfect fit, because Dillinger Escape Plan is like, I'm sure they said it many of times. It was like pretty much listening to Mr. Bungle inspired us to do this
band.
What Dillinger is like the modern day our Mr. Bungle, like for us, because we were too young to have Mr. Bungle when they were around.
I think also Korn, like I was like the whole
that, and then Into the Sepultura like, too, because we did like, Roots, and he's on that with Jonathan Davis doing that with DJ Lethal, track 8.
There's just a lot of bands that I think
from Roots
were influenced by this band that became big or went into mainstream. So there's like some Mr. Bungle in there because of how radical and different they were at the time. Some of those Dillinger riffs or Korn riffs wouldn't have been the same, or even just the album feel of the songs. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And I feel like even with Faith No More, it was the same way. Like having Real Thing and that being very much like their with their previous singer, the album before that with their previous singer, it sounded a lot alike. It was just like that college rock sound. It's very rock and roll. I still, you have like the most classic song,
like alternative.
Epic,
it's like what
everyone's heard, Epic. You want it out.
Yeah, they were kind of
like
that.
That's how he was singing that style too. You know what I mean? In the very like grunge alternative days. But then when Mr. Bungle comes out with this album, the next Faith No More album has a lot of feel of just weird, dark wackiness that they were allowed to do when it came to like songs like Midlife Crisis. You know what I mean? Just like how they started performing. It was like maybe they didn't realize what their new lead singer was capable of. We both just smacked mics right there.
Bam!
Fucking idiots. What their new lead singer was capable of, or what sounds that they could possibly like do. Because there were some wacky songs off of Stardust, or Angel Dust, I'm sorry, that just have like a Bungle feel. And even albums after that, like maybe not One Day as a King or whatever the album's called, One Day of a King, but the album right after that, Album of the Year, had a lot of like just, it feels like Mr. Bungle at times because of like the sounds and the wackiness that they will like kind of throw in there.
Yeah.
And this album did like just influence everyone. And for me, I kind of like wanted, like when I was like, I fell in love with this album, and then I listened to California, and I was like, it's not the same. Why would it be? Obviously, I mean, this is one of those bands that are just going to be all over the place. But I wanted more of this. I wanted more, like, because this was so much more like metal, like integrated, like just had a lot more metal in every song, you know. That I wanted more of that, but it also had a lot of like just the funkiness too, you know, of like those funky bass riffs and fun and wacky shit where it's like it's kind of like goofy and in some ways not serious, but that's what I loved about it because it was so like in some ways not to hate on this or be say it in a bad way, but childish. And it was kind of like it imprinted on me because of that, you know, because it was like it just felt good to like let loose. It was like, this is gonna sound crazy, it was like playing with action figures, you know, like all over again. When I listen to this album, it's like your imagination, you know, setting up little bases with like your blankets and pillows and stuff like that, and just being like lost in that, you know. I could only imagine if like this is like something that you would play for your child in the crib.
Traumatized.
What kind of kid would he be when he grew up? A musical genius?
Well, any other final thoughts, or are we going to end with some more
I got some fun
lyrics?
facts.
Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Let me rustle all this paperwork so you guys can hear in the background.
Yeah.
Because I do my job as a researcher, as a podcaster. I heard this today. First off, a shout out to some of my source material.
Sauce.
It was just some podcast on YouTube, radio station / Sirius XM show. I don't know which one it was, but it was on YouTube. One was "This Must Be the Gig," the interview with Mike Patton. That was a pretty good one. It's only like 35 minutes long. It's very recent. It was like 2019. And then In Conversation, and that was him like I think like 2 months ago. So it's like a Skype thing, and pretty much the guy that's interviewing him is a chef, and all they talk about is food. I get being a musician, you're sick and tired of talking about music, but I was like, I need some information. And then one I started listening to and never got to finish was you'll find it at Faith No More Followers / KCRW, and it's an interview with Henry Rollins and Mike Patton that was about a year ago as well. And I just listened the first 10 minutes, and it's fantastic. I can't wait to finish it. They were talking about the Dead Cross how, like, maybe there'll only be one Dead Cross, or maybe there won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like what it is when it comes to Mike Patton and stuff, you know what I mean? And that's kind of weird that they're pulling this Mr. Bungle into a thrash metal direction, because I think he tried so hard to, like, want to make a thrash metal album with Dead Cross, but it
was like a
still,
hardcore band.
yeah, but I really think it was supposed to be like thrash.
Yes,
yeah.
it was more
But
in the heavier genre,
But
yeah.
it was too much Mike Patton in there, and I think he knows that. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, fuck, my influences, the way I normally like get wacky on songs, is not really the best aesthetic for when it comes to thrash. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's more about being direct, and like when you have I'm so sorry. I'm gonna throw this phone across the room. So I think he's just trying to take another approach and like trying to get the thrash metal thing down, because who doesn't love thrash metal? You know, who doesn't want to like get back to playing thrash metal? Like, what the fuck, Metallica? Just make a whole thrash metal album. No rock, just hard song after hard ass song after hard ass song, right? Just do it. Just do it. Everyone should be like fucking Cannibal Corpse. Get stronger and harder. Another fun fact that I got from that, or just fun facts that I got from listening to some of those interviews, was the first time that Faith No More played Austin, Texas. And he was talking about, he was like so excited to come to Austin because he was like, oh, this crazy place. Can't wait to go to Austin. And they were an opening act, and they opened for male strippers.
Oh my god.
So they played a set, and then male strippers got on stage and danced for ladies. True story.
Wow.
Like, the first time they ever played Austin was to open up in a strip club. Male strippers, nonetheless.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get that it's Faith No More could be kind of sexy music.
Yeah.
You know? I would think more so like later on, Faith No More, you know, or like if we had Mr. Bungle's California, you know, Pink Cigarette, you know. Yeah, the whole thing with the mask, total bullshit. I hate being so impressionable as a kid and just being like, whoa, for real? And they're like, for real. And I didn't have a fucking baby computer in my pocket, you know what I mean? I was carrying around a little baby television. I didn't know he got like so much like resentment back in the day too for being in multiple bands. Mike Patton being one of the first people to really branch out and do different things.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, you're the singer for this band, you stay in this band. But he didn't do that. It's kind of like his musical taste. He has to go all over the place. He might just get a little bit bored with something, and that's why there's only like 4 or 5 albums of each of his projects. And just has to, you know, keep doing stuff, keep moving, you know? And he got a lot of like criticism for being in multiple bands back in those days, which I didn't think that would be a thing, you know? He's kind of like one of those front leaders, you know, frontmen for a musician being in a bunch of different projects, because nowadays it's totally accepted, you know?
Yeah.
But back then it was like him and Jello Biafra. That about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have like, it was like if him and Rollins did something, it was just a whole Rollins band. It's not like he went back and forth between, you know, Black Flag and the Rollins band. Not like Patton, you know, Patton just went all over the place, you know, and still does Faith No More to this day. Still doing Mr. Bungle to this day, you know. Still, Tomahawk wasn't even that long ago to be, well, it was 8 years ago now. But I could see that coming back with something else. Why not? You know what I mean? I fucking love it. Check out fucking Tomahawk. It's with the guitar player of the Jesus Lizard, which is one of my favorite local Austin bands.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
So good.
3 albums, I think they got 2.
He said there's 3. I don't think he's counting the war songs, because they did a whole album of just Native American war songs. And you can find there's some gems in there, but it's all what you think it is.
Yeah.
So I don't think he counts that. So he says there's only 3, so there might be another one. Because I was like, there's 4, but he said there was 3. So let's just count that up as a cover album. Just a cover track album. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Other than please just go find them wherever you possibly can.
Yes, their new album comes out. Let me look here.
October.
I believe 22nd, but we're gonna find out.
And maybe you didn't know it's Dave Lombardo, Scott Ian, and Trevor Dunn, the original bass player, and maybe another original member. I'm really bad at doing my research. Okay, you got me. Just redoing that EP from back in the day and just fucking making it more thrash. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited to hopefully see them go on tour once things...
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It says October 30th. That's when it will be
Halloween?
released. Or on Epic.
His own record label. And did you please go find this on YouTube. Did you see the interview with him and Danny DeVito?
Yes, that was the weirdest interview because Danny DeVito promotes as It's Always Sunny for half of the interview with Mike Patton sitting in the background.
Or the second season of Always Sunny. He's promoting the second season where he finally entered the cast.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how long ago it was. It said MySpace at the bottom.
It's so funny that half of the interview is
they go
just
up and
Mike
hug
Patton
each other.
actually, or is Danny DeVito like starts out like leads the conversation towards It's Always Sunny and then promotes it for like a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, they were supposed to be promoting both of their stuff. Like he was supposed to promote his new album.
I was like, they're
Mike
gonna ask
Patton's
each
new
other
album,
questions.
you know.
No, it's gonna be like it's like kinda. It started off like that where he was like, I've listened to it, my son did it or whatever.
Yeah, just
my
like
son
his kids got him into Always Sunny. He was like, my kids showed me
Mr. Bungle.
all your music, like so much different projects. So that was pretty fun.
Interesting. Yeah, it was fun.
And it was like
Danny
it
DeVito's a
literally
character.
said MySpace at the bottom of the corner.
I know.
Yeah,
And they're like, MySpace. They were like talking about them streaming their new album or whatever.
Yeah, and he was talking about how like MySpace was just kind of new at this point, and how awesome it was that he like had all this material he didn't know what to do with, so he started his own record label. And you know, it's really hard to, I don't know, we talked about this, I don't know, every fucking episode, how to distribute that album, and the distributor who they go out to, and it's all these fucking rules and laws and fucking dicks you have to suck to get into certain stores or play it on certain radio stations. And so he just put it out online, and he was like, wow, this is great, you know. And he was like, it's even better for bands that are up and coming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
15 years later, it totally like bankrupted the whole music scene. No one's selling albums anymore.
Yeah.
Cut to the apocalypse. We're stuck here in the house, and I think this is great actually for streaming. You know what I mean? This whole if we didn't have streaming during this whole thing, I don't know. There'd be a lot more suicides and domestic violence. I'm sorry, that's a bad joke. Yeah, follow us on Instagram at BANGover Productions, YouTube at BANGover Productions. I'm sorry, you gotta type in All Away Productions because someone made a Hangover Productions and they have more likes than us. So please click the bell. There's more than just podcasts on there. We also have local live bands, streaming or videos, whole sets. They play whole sets. So if you need some live music, we got a lot on there. Maybe you can find a band you never even heard of that you fall in love with. We did a music video. We're working on our cover song of Sepultura. Can't wait to put that out with a little music video with that. The We Are Horrible podcast, if you love horror movies. And God, what else do we have on there?
The YouTube just put up all those We Are Horrible.
Oh, some interviews I did with local musicians.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want?
Eric.
Yeah. I suggest listening to our decade episode, the turn of the century. Just our longest episode, but we just talk about some of our favorite albums from the past 10 years. And I think that's maybe where we got into conversation on other things. Where I was like, didn't we do that album?
Probably.
But there was over 25 albums, I believe, in that episode that we talk about shortly. Everyone gets 10 minutes, very quick, all right? But yes, thank you all for listening. Please stay tuned. I believe next we're going to do Alice in Chains for sure.
Alice in Chains.
Definitely.
SOD.
SOD, 35 years.
35 years.
35 years.
Speaking of Scotty and, bringing up.
Not my favorite album, but it needs to be talked about. It's 30 years of Cannibal Corpse.
Are we going to do that one?
We have to do it.
Okay.
It's first album, 30 years.
First singer.
Corpse.
Let's do it. All
so right. In doing so, we're going to have to get through all of 25 years of destruction.
It's going to be interesting.
That 6-hour documentary on Cannibal Corpse.
We're just going to watch the first disc. It's just the first disc you got to watch. The first years.
I watched up to like an hour and 30 and it still said I had like 4 hours left.
Do you have it?
YouTube, it breaks it down.
Okay, I was going to say, I have
like
the DVD,
one's
but
2 hours, one's 4 hours, it looks like. Yeah. All right, well, give me the DVD. All right.
We're going to watch that, and y'all watch that too, make it some homework.
Oh, and T-Republic, if you guys are... T-Public, yes, I have a link on our page on Facebook because I can't do that on anything else. I'll also get it up on our YouTube page to have it to where you can go over. Masks, mugs. I'm also working with a local artist right now to get out some new wacky art t-shirt ideas. Yes, please join us next time.
All right, well.